Okay, so this is the demo for historical portraits. All right, so as always, make sure you've downloaded everything you need first. In this case, you're also gonna have to download two of these backdrops. I guess you could call them. I'm calling them textures because really they're like a texture of an old photo. So you've got a link to these in your directions. Download two of them. Download two of your photos that you shot in the old-timey studio. Make sure that you have things vertical and horizontal lined up. If you don't, ask me. It's pretty easy to do, but you got to have vertical, vertical, horizontal, horizontal. All right. So once you did all that, then you're going to go ahead and open in Photopea. So you're going to go open from computer, open one of the photos. And we've done this technique several times where we open another photo by using File, Open, and Place. This is where you're going to open the texture. Okay, so now you got the texture open and you got the photo open and they're on two layers. Now, if it makes all these depth maps layer, I don't know what that means. Don't worry about it. So you can see that this is really important. You got to have these two things be the same size. So before I do anything, I'm going to stretch it by always the corner. Okay, stretch to stretch and push return. If it doesn't have that blue box on it and you still need to change it, you can go to edit, transform, scale, and do it that way. When you're done with it, always push return or enter. So now you got these two. Now, first thing I'm going to do, turn the eyeball off of this texture. I'm going to go to the main picture and I'm going to go to image because right now what we're going to do is sepia toning, which means we're going to take out the color, make it black and white. But it's going to be like a brownish black and white. So that looks old. Image, adjustment, hue saturation. All right, now this is really important. This button right here, this is colorize. Click it. Okay, I know it seems wrong, but click it. Now you're going to adjust two things. You're going to just adjust hue. Hue is just a fancy word for color. I'm going to put it in the most neutral brown color I can. And then I'm going to reduce the saturation to kind of take that crazy out of it. Okay. So now it's kind of, instead of a black and white, it's like brown and white, which makes it look old. Okay. So push. Okay. Then you've used this technique many times before. It should be easy. Put the eyeball back onto the texture, push shift and click on both the texture and the main. Okay. And then you can use multiply. And that will combine the two things, right? Now, there's a lot to it. It can look kind of dark once you have those two things together. If you don't like that, you can always, and by the way, you could try different ones of these. As you know, there's a whole bunch of different ones. I would put the one I like sometimes. No, I don't think for me, none of these are working but multiply because you need to see the picture, but you also need to see the texture. So, all right, another thing you could do, you could go to just the main one and you could do an adjustment on it. You could do levels and you could like brighten it up if you want to, if that's bothering you. You can even change this slider, which changes the overall exposure, which can be nice. So anyways, if it's too dark, this is important. You're only changing the layer that you have selected, right? You don't want to change them both at the same time. I don't even know if you can. So click on the picture one. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, then standard practice, right? We go file, export as JPEG. Make sure you name it something you can find again. And then you got to do the whole thing over with a second portrait and a second background. And that's it. Easy peasy. Okay, wait, hold. This is always the part where I'm like, March. I gotta stop recording. Okay,